Hello. Welcome back to season 2 of the Don't Cancel Us podcast. So Yasmine wrote a script, and I'm just going to be transparent here. She just sent it to me maybe 5 minutes ago, so I'm going to read it off. It says,
Step into it.
Got it.
should I get my Nicki Minaj on? Or okay.
I'm Nicki Minaj, Nicki Lewinsky, Nicki the Ninja.
You know how she was just going on and on of that Megan this. Yeah, we're not going to do that.
Okay.
Welcome to the Don't Cancel Us podcast,
Hello.
a podcast about friendship.
Hey.
We've been friends for decades, and today we want to share how to make, no, we're not sharing that today. Today we're going to talk about secrets to a long distance
Friendship.
Yes.
There we go.
My name is Chari Caston. I am a mindful travel coach. I am getting my master's in social work, and I'm a travel agent, so that makes a mindful travel coach. And I'm following along with my amazing co-hosts. We're gonna start with Yasmine.
I'm Yasmine, your favorite. I am the traveling social media manager. I live my life pretty freely, bouncing around from country to country while I work remotely. Kicking it over to my homegirl, Rachel.
Hi, I am Rachel. I work as an interior designer here in Atlanta, Georgia. I also love creating safe spaces for Black women and women of color in general. So that makes the Don't Cancel Us podcast.
We didn't even plan that one.
Yeah, that was
proud
good,
of
guys.
us.
I'm proud of us. So today, as I mentioned, we're gonna talk about secrets to a long distance friendship. And I feel like this topic is really important because a lot of us just be moving. Sometimes we're not in the same zip code. Sometimes we're not even in the same country. So our friend Yasmine will be traveling, as well as Rachel's going to be hopping back and forth from different places. And I don't know what I'm doing, but it's probably not going to just be here. And the important thing about that is how can we maintain our friendship and still feel connected with one another? Yasmine, I want you to tell us a little bit about your journey and what are your thoughts of how you're going to stay friends with us?
What about your friends?
Hey.
I think it's challenging. Let me not say challenging. I think it takes effort and it takes work and commitment and dedication, just like any other relationship. And it's hard. Like you feel it. Like it's a thing that I'm here and then I'm leaving and then I'm here and then I'm leaving. Like we feel that pull, that tug and pull. So I do want to preface that by saying like we work at this. It's challenging. It's new for us still too. But I think the thing that helps us is like keeping the group chat alive as if we still talk in the group chat as if we're all in the same city.
Yeah.
We're not all meeting up, but I'm still like, okay, yeah, they're grabbing dinner tonight or whatever.
That's a good point. So you're saying like, even if two people are meeting up with each other, it's like that other person can still be involved.
Aware.
They still know what's going on.
What's going on.
Along with the GPS tracking that's live.
Oh, gosh.
Locations are on. That's a good point.
Season
Because
1.
we talked about that in season 1 about having your location on from your friends. And I told y'all in that episode, when it's important, it's important. And a time like this is very important. So I think another way that we stay connected is by literally knowing where we are at every moment.
So wait.
You can't do much about
share
it.
your location with us this time?
I shared my location with both of you guys.
I think you're the only one who doesn't have it. I have her location. I have your
I
location.
shared it with all 3 of you.
Yes.
Okay.
Cute. Let me double
And then
check.
I turned around and shared it with all my close iPhone friends too.
Okay.
So that everyone can kind of know where I am. But I think that's a thing that's really helpful, just to kind of know where we are, even though it's not like I'm pulling up if anything pops off. Because
I will.
Yeah, you will. And you have.
Don't let me.
But I think that's one way. And then also just keeping the group chat alive and normal. And then also making points to, even if we can't meet up in real life, we'll set dates virtual. Like we'll do like a Zoom
meeting.
or like let's just have a touch base. Let's just chat like outside of texting. And obviously we can't meet up. We'll do something virtually. And I think that is like a big recommendation.
I think that one of the biggest things about friendships is that sometimes people treat it like it's not a relationship. And I think a lot of things that we do together is very relationship intimate relationship-esque. And I think
100%.
maybe people may feel uncomfortable with that because they may not have that responsibility for their friends to be like, hey, like we talked about, putting things on the calendar, or just like prioritizing, like, I want to hang out with you, and being transparent and honest and like, girl, FaceTime me, pick up the phone. But I think there's like a point of like, it can look a little unhealthy. But before I jump into that, I want Rachel to kind of share. Because Rachel's staring in my soul right now. I'm a little sorry.
Sorry, I'm like so zoned in. I was like,
It can.
what she mean by that?
Yeah, it can be a little unhealthy, but I want you to talk about what are some things that you do or you like to do to prepare for a healthy, long distance friendship.
Somebody made a comment yesterday about echoing, so we're not saying piggyback anymore. We're echoing each other now. But echoing a lot of what Yasmine said and you said. For me, I think I like to think about how I feel when I'm presently with you guys. And so that's what I try and tap into every time I want us to either talk on the phone or text in the group chat. I'm trying to tap into that feeling I have when we are together. Another thing I was going to mention was, I think to touch on what you said, we don't take ourselves too seriously. And I think sometimes people see a friendship as it looking a certain way. Maybe you're just grabbing drinks, or maybe it's just dinner, and they don't know how to be creative. And we talked about activities on one of our episodes, different activities that can happen. And so to create intimate spaces, to sit, have wine in the car after you have dinner. We do every and anything. Because literally the moment we have a crazy idea, there's that, well, why not?
Oh, so are you even saying like if one of your friends is long distance, you'll probably like FaceTime them and be like, girl, get your wine glass. Let's just do this on FaceTime together.
Yeah, or take a shot with me. Like I've had friends
We've done that.
Yeah, literally FaceTime me and say, take a shot with me. Like you can't be here, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I'll find alcohol around here somewhere. I think if you have the energy of why not, as opposed to why, you're able to do so much more. And the way your friendship looks like and shows up can vary, and you can have so much more range.
Explain that a little bit more of like, what do you mean by the question of why not instead of why? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think it touches on not taking yourself too seriously. Because I think when we become adults, you think things are supposed to look a certain way, and it's like, why? Like, I don't have my own house, but like, I don't care that my friends still come to my parents' house. All my friends, and bring your kid. Like, it don't matter. And a husband and kids. Like, and people may feel like they can't do that, because there are times where I'm like, oh, it feels weird, but then they're always like, we're pulling up. Shoot, we're pulling up to your house.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Why not? Why not?
Why not? Like, why do you have to have your space for this to be a thing? Or when I redecorated my room and I wanted to have like a room warming, we just make shit up, honestly. And like,
So
I was like, let's have a housewarming, a room warming, so you guys can see my new space. I've redesigned it, redecorated. I want you guys to appreciate what I've done.
How can you use that in terms of like, hypothetically, maybe I'm in Brazil, Yazi's in Colombia, you are in Jamaica. How can you use that concept of why not while we're in these different places?
I think it's just, if you have an idea, or if you're in a moment and you think of your friends, call them.
Call them.
It's really
act
that simple.
on it.
Yeah, act on it. Like, because sometimes you'd be like, oh, maybe. Nah, just call them.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Like, do it. Because why not?
Call them.
If you call them and they don't answer, then it's one thing.
You deal with that.
Yeah.
Right. And so you can leave voice notes.
Oh.
I don't really like voice notes, but I'm learning to love them because I understand the efficiency of it, but I do think that is a great tool to utilize technology while your friend is abroad. One thing that I also want to touch on is the importance of having the conversation before the departure happens, right? So sometimes we forget to talk about how we're going to stay connected because maybe it's assumed, maybe it's like an avoidance conversation, or maybe we just take ourselves too seriously. Like, girl, it's not that deep. But it is important to have the conversation. Like, girl, how you want to stay in contact? And and also considering the purpose of the person maybe departing, like if they're leaving because of a job, if they're leaving because they need a break, having that conversation with that person of, what does this look like? So we're gonna do this live on air, and we're gonna ask Yasmine live right now.
She's leaving.
She's heading on a journey, and I just want to ask you personally, how would you like to feel and stay connected with us while you are traveling?
I think what I mentioned, like I just want to still feel included, even though I can't come. I want to know what's happening, what's everyone wearing, obviously. And I'm not a social media girl because I work in social media. It's really, I can't catch every post. It's just not gonna happen. So I appreciate like a photo in the group chat instead of like everything being like, I posted on my story. Like, okay, girl.
Yeah, but send it to me.
I'm logged into 11 accounts, but didn't see that.
Okay.
So I think that's a big one. And then also when we can link up, like let's link up, which I think we did now. Like I've already been out of the country for a month already, and we're already linking up. Yeah. And I think we enjoy travel enough as a group that we will always link up somewhere. Atlanta, Amsterdam, wherever. So I think those things.
Has like your boundaries or parameters changed due to you being abroad? Can we call you more or less? Like,
you know,
are there any,
people
like,
don't
red tape around that?
generally call. I think people think I'm busier than I am because specifically Rachel.
That is facts.
Every time
facts.
she calls me, she's like, I know you are super busy. Are you?
Girl, get to the question.
I'm so sorry. I know you are.
And then she's probably like in bed, cuddled up, like
Literally.
girl, what is it? Say it now.
Right. So I think people don't call me as often, which I'm also okay with. But maybe, yeah, just call. The thing about it is I have more time to like FaceTime, and because people FaceTime me in Atlanta, like y'all have seen my apartment, like there's nothing for me to really show you. So I think now I'm like, this is what Colombia looks like. Also, in my family, I think with like FaceTiming my family or video calling them, they'll get to see parts of the world that they probably won't
ever see.
Right. So I think for them, I'm living out a little bit of a dream, which is their words, not mine, and just being able to live the life that I live and being
freely.
able to show it to people, I think is important. So I do appreciate the calls because now it's like something exciting to see other than my
that's
Atlanta
also,
balcony.
Like, I think that's a good point. And I think, Rachel, you touched on this before, is like your family's perspective of you being abroad and how you maintaining, like updating them. And if you are updating them, what does that look like? And I know you may have a lot to share because I see a lot of like Instagram or TikTok posts that would be like, I'm the friend who leaves next week with the bag still packed and you don't know where I'm going to be at. And it really always reminds me of you. Like my mom literally be like, where in the world's Rachel? And I'm like, relax.
She's in Lawrenceville.
So I'm asking you, Rachel, like, do you carry that over as well as like to your family? Like, what does that look like maintaining your relationship with your family while you are abroad?
My family don't really be knowing where I be at. For real. I'm like a just landed in Jamaica, by the way, kind of person.
Or just got back from Jamaica.
It's very, I don't know. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
But when I'm going through it, it doesn't seem like a big deal. And recently my pastor said that every time he travels, he goes to like the oldest person in his family and asks for a prayer and a blessing.
Oh.
And when he said that, I was like, I should take advantage of having my grandmother who's almost 83 and like be more intentional with her. When I'm leaving to go somewhere to get her blessing and like, you know, just to touch somebody with where I'm going. Usually like my siblings will know, but it's never like a thing. Like I'll get there and I'll be like, just landed. But they always feel like they have to give me my space when I'm with my friends or if I'm out the country. They don't they just give me my space. I don't know why they feel they need to do that, but they don't know how to interact with me when I'm away.
Do you think they consider that a feeling or facts? Do you feel like it's factual that you do need your space, or is it a feeling that they came up with on their own?
I think they came up with it on their own.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's not like they've ever called me and I couldn't answer the phone.
Right, like you dismissed them.
Yeah. So it's really just them being like, oh, well, you were with Chari. So I'm like, and just like, if it's something, I'm going to tell you it's something,
Right.
but it's just something that they do. But also there's so many of us. So if I can't get Rachel, I'm going to just get somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's not that big of a deal.
Would you like it to look a little different?
It would be, I guess I could say I would like it just to see what it's like. But like Yasmine mentioned, like a lot of people don't call me because they think I'm busy, and I ain't mad at it. Okay. I be feeling the same way, like, because once I land, my phone is not really I'm like present. So to think about it, I wouldn't want to talk about Atlanta stuff while I'm in Colombia or
like
if I'm in Jamaica.
Atlanta drama.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, well, let's talk about this when I land, please. Thanks. Like, it's maybe not relevant unless it's, so maybe they feel that. And I'm also somebody who a lot of things doesn't matter to me. Like, you tell me something, I'm like, okay. Like, if it's not, I'm just like, okay, all right, it's not a big deal. Like, I'm not, so maybe they have gathered that knowing that there's more of us. They know they have options. Yeah.
So what are you thinking of, like, if it's a friend that you really don't connect with, but you're still abroad, is there any different boundaries in that, or does that look the same for your close friends and your distant friends?
Oh,
Instagram.
I think it's the
Instagram? What do you mean by that?
Like not like
non-close friends or Instagram. You're going to get, I agree.
You just
see it when I post it.
Okay.
Love you, mean
You're
it.
not notifying them. You're not keeping them up.
I don't have the capacity to
Are you?
Oh, no.
Exactly.
No, I think people think everything I post on Instagram is everything. Like
that's your
everything
life.
that's happening.
Yeah.
But they don't.
Okay.
There's a lot of things I don't post that may just happen to be in the group chat or just like in the phone that is running out of storage. Like, so I agree.
That makes
like,
me wonder.
yeah, we gotta check to see if it's still recording over there.
But for sure, for me, it's like, and then of course it creates that whole, oh, you always out of town, and it's because you ain't in my tight knit, so you don't know that I'm in Lawrenceville in my black robe, Red Riding Hood. Most of the time, when I'm out, I'm out, but usually I'm just at the crib.
How do you think that it can kind of like make a friendship really hard? That
Travel
long distance.
or distance?
Just the distance. Like maybe sometimes it's not even abroad. Maybe your best friend moved to California, or maybe she moved, or he or she moved an hour away, and you guys used to do everything together. What would make that really difficult?
Yeah. Did you ever see a reel of this girl who's like having a tough time, and she's like, I just miss my friend. And so she like flew to wherever city her friend was in. I think it was Cali. And like they met at the airport, and she just like started bawling. And I was like, I guess we see each other enough.
We do.
And I think the foundation of our friendship is travel. So we understand that, like the space piece of it. But I'm like wondering if somebody's listening and they're like, yo, my friend just literally moved 3 hours away. Like, y'all are talking about all this travel and abroad. Like, what are some things that I can do? And
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say this. Building community wherever you land is key. I moved to Atlanta 3 years ago, and as close as we are on this couch right now, that was not the case 3 years ago.
before that.
Yeah.
So I think same when I moved back to New York, I didn't have any friends. And then I met Alex, Candace, and Kalima. And those are my girls. When I lived in San Francisco, that was Erica and Jet. There were 3 Jets in the group. But you know what I'm saying? Like wherever you are, wherever you land, whether your besties are there or not, try to find community, try to find a friend or a friendship group or a circle. And I know it might be kind of awkward because they're strangers and they're gross. But try to warm up and be open to it, because that's the only way to survive.
Yeah.
You have to be open to it.
You need people.
It's going back to the whole making friends. And sometimes as I get older, I realize how important my old friends are and were. Like, even if I haven't talked to someone in a long time, when I see someone from my past, it gives me a moment to, like, one, I get excited because I'm like, oh my God, this person knew me in this realm of my life, you know, like at the age of 20. And I'm seeing them in real life. And because we had a great connection there, whether we were close friends or not, or just regular friends, I am more inclined to tap back in. I'd rather do that than meet a new person, honestly. Yeah. And so I'll be more excited about like, wow, remember we used to do this, we used to do that. So what's going on? Like something, you know? And sometimes it's, if there's nothing wrong and nothing has happened with this friend, it's not a bad idea to tap back in and like reach out to someone that if you've moved back home, we used to go to school with.
Yeah.
Because there are some things that have happened when you were younger with these people that cannot be created in new friendships.
So it's like appreciating that,
yeah,
and not ignoring it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, speaking of tapping back in, please make sure you like, subscribe, comment below. Find us on Spotify, Patreon, Instagram, maybe TikTok one day. And keep it going, keep it sharing. We would love to hear what you have to say in the comments, because this conversation was created through us just chatting in the group chat. But now we are opening up the group chat for you to be invited and tell us your little secrets. If we haven't mentioned anything, let us know, because we're building community here.
Hello.
And I love that we mention social media, because I think that default to what we do to our friends that are not close is like, they gonna see it on Instagram. And you mentioned this earlier in the episode, is like, even though I'm seeing this on Instagram, I may or may not see it. Keep me connected.
Please
let me know.
send it to me directly.
You can send me the
Give
same
me the
picture.
choice.
Yeah.
I always like, anytime I think about something and I'm like, no, give her the choice, please.
Yeah,
Shari
please.
always says, give them the choice. Give them the choice.
Yeah, that's like a big social work thing, is like a lot of times people are stripped from their options. And so society created that for a lot of people that look like us. So options, not having options is a trigger. So giving people options is key.
Yes.
As we wrap this up, I want to talk about the toxic ways of what long distance friendship can look like. What do you think? I know we mentioned like some of the downfalls, but is there something that can look toxic for that? Is it like maybe somebody stalking you, somebody having this false expectation of how you should show up? If Yasmine leaves tomorrow, what is something that will like make you so upset that we done?
Me.
Start a new podcast. Start a new podcast
Like,
with a
is it
different girl.
Chari
and Rachel show.
Yeah, having another friend, that is a big...
I am a jealous friend, I will tell you. Whenever I hear any of my friends hanging out with the other friend, even if it's the friend I'm also friends with, I get a little...
But I wasn't there.
I'm hurt. A little bit. I just want to know. I think like maybe not talk to me would make me sad.
Okay.
Or like not text me back, even though I don't text back right away all the time.
12 hours later.
Yeah.
So
I'm doing my
that's
best.
something that's one of your things of like, all right,
Don't ignore me. Be nice still.
okay.
Yeah.
What you got, Rachel?
It's not hard to break me. I'm sensitive.
Speaking of being sensitive,
Cancer. That's the astrology note of the day.
It's not me. I haven't brought it up at all this season. It has not been me.
I would say, I think similar to Yasmine, because I don't feel like I'm needy. And so just keeping me in a loop, or if I reach out to you, respond. Cause then I'll be like, now, how she know she didn't give me the choice.
She didn't give me the choice.
And you know I'm gonna run it back to you because I'm like, don't you?
Screenshot.
Right. So I'd be like, oh, okay, that's cute. Because obviously we all understand there's different dynamics outside of this friendship.
We have lives.
Yeah. Oh,
Barely.
but yeah, I think it'd be me reaching out to you and not being able to reach you. Okay, I sent a message.
Stop responding or
Yeah,
something.
like she hasn't said anything back. Okay, but you, okay.
Yeah, and it's important to communicate to your friend, like, yo, I might not have service here, or, like not overly communicate, but communicate if you can't communicate.
Yeah.
And I love that you mentioned making friends with another friend. And I think that will bring us to our next episode of toxic friends? Like, what does that look like? So thank y'all so much. Before we wrap it up,
before we wrap it up, I really want to hear what would bother you before we get out of here.
What would bother me? I'm very waffle brain. Like when somebody's out of sight, not that they're out of mind. It's just like I give them space. I give them that waffle container space in my head, and something that would make me upset. I'm gonna go very personal with Yasmine. I guess that would probably be not keeping me in the loop. Yeah. Or if you see something that you know can like going back to transactional friendship is like if you see something that you know that I like and you share it maybe with somebody else, or you only tell Rachel and you don't tell me, I'm like, girl, you know, I love Cinnabon. Why did you tell me they having a convention in Spain?
Yeah, like, I think we all want the same thing.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Text me back. Eventually.
All right. Don't cancel me, but I'm having a hard time balancing my clients that are very needy. My travel agent clients, I'm having a hard time finding like a system, hard time charging what I'm worth. So, yeah. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Did you catch that?
What?
I'm talking to my camera.
Catch what? The hug?
Yeah.
That's not easy to admit, and it must not be easy to carry either. So I'm sorry. I feel that. Okay, don't cancel me, but in the vein of travel, sometimes before boarding a flight, I check the seating arrangement to see what seats are empty, and I sit in a seat that I prefer to sit in.
Oh, that's a good hack.
Don't cancel me.
I think I've said this before, but speaking of travel,
our language.
I've said this before, but when I am on flights,
hold on, I'm scared.
I pass gas and just look away and act like I'm sleeping. And I just act like I'm sleeping, and hopefully it's silent, and it's usually silent, but yeah.
So you just be on the window like,
yep.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's toxic. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode on the Don't Cancel Us podcast. Please like, subscribe, comment below. See us on Spotify, Instagram, Patreon.
Yes, and find us using our @ Don't Cancel Us Cast. All right.
Peace.
All right.
Ciao.